Okay, hi, hello everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you are doing well. We are at the end of September. We are kicking into October, my birthday month. It's Scorpio season soon, y'all. And usually for my birthday month every year, I grow a little bit of a mustache. Yeah, that's what I do. It's my thing. I do it and I rock it until I'm tired of it. And yep, doing it again this year. That is the vibe. That is the routine. It is what we are doing for the fall. It may make me look more like an undercover cop than I typically look, but I'm doing it because it's my passion. So I thought to ring in the new Fantano mustache era, we would jump on here and list out some mustaches. Now, you guys may be thinking, Anthony, how are you some authority on mustaches? Why are you judging mustaches? You just rock a mustache for like one season out of the year, maybe. Plus, your mustache looks like the Pizza Hut logo. Yeah, that may be true, but you know what? I'm rocking what God gave me. And I think that makes me expert enough. Thank you very much. But yeah, I thought I would come on here and rate some mighty and also some not so good mustaches here in this beautiful tier list thingy. Let's do it. Okay, we are starting off with an easy one over here. Mr. Cal Chuchista. Everybody knows and loves the mustache that this individual rocks. I'm liking how symmetrical it is. That's great. That's fantastic. Does not look like the Pizza Hut logo. But I'm pretty sure as I look closer to it, this mustache is painted on. I don't think this mustache is real. In fact, I think this is just on a character. Don't take this mustache seriously. This is like, you know, basically a free space on a bingo card. This is the placebo in the clinical trial. This is not a real or, a hearty mustache. This is not a mustache to be taken seriously. This is the real deal, y'all. This is the alpha. This is the omega. All right, next in this tier list, we have another famous mustache, very famous, very iconic mustache from the one and only Salvador Dali, surrealist and abstract painter. Yes, fiery mustache, the devil horns, as it were, waxed up, just really going wild, going high. I imagine that he really had to, wax this thing up every day, or else it would just kind of like droop low past the lips, and would sort of maybe get caught in things like containers or food items or maybe a door. So part of me does not really enjoy this mustache too much for its lack of functionality. You know, I feel like this mustache does kind of pose a bit of a danger to whoever does decide to rock it, but it's still an amazing, iconic, groundbreaking, and bold look that will forever, live in the minds of all mustache havers and non-mustache havers, because it's really that good. It's really that creative. It's really that amazing. It's really that boundary pushing. I would give this mustache easily a solid A. Not a great mustache for everyday use, but a very creative and bold and unique one all the same. Moving on from here, we have an example of the legendary double stash, really just like a droopy mustache, droopy kind of goatee combo. This guy and anyone who really kind of rocks this look, in my eyes, looks like a Muppet character. This mustache is goofy in a lot of ways. It's even more non-functional than the Dali mustache. Like, how do you eat with it and not get food everywhere? There's a lot of questions. Again, not aesthetically great, not functional. You look like a cartoon character. I would even prefer a fake mustache over this mustache. I would put this mustache in the E row. Not a very good one in my opinion. All right, next we have another pretty legendary bit of facial hair over here. The Hulk stash. Good firm, straight row above the lip, flawlessly. Like you could take a level to that thing and it would be perfectly straight. You go straight out and then you come down. It's like you're wearing a big fat pair of bell bottoms on the sides of your cheeks over here. And I love this look. It's good for dads who want to be tough, wrestlers, obviously, bikers, guys who like to drink and fight, and metalhead guys who are into a lot of metal too. It's a pretty versatile look. You could rock it in a lot of contexts. I think this is an iconic stash. I think this is a great stash. If you can grow it, I envy you. I cannot sort of like grow all the way down like that. If I could, I don't don't know if I would, honestly. I think that would be really insane for a music critic to have on their face. But like, again, professional wrestler, A-okay, totally fits, totally works. Iconic, fantastic. Not the most unique, as you know, there are quite a few of these out there, but maybe not as much as there used to be at one time. Still, a badass, good-looking stash. I would put this one in the B column quite solidly. Next up, we have Nick Cave's legendary bent stash. It's almost like his lips and the sides of the stash create like an equilateral triangle. And yeah, for Nick Cave and anybody who can rock this sort of like angled stash here, I think this is a good look. I think this is a good look. Nice, thick, angled, dark mustache. I think it's, it's got a nice point to it, shapes around the top lip very well. I don't know if he has to kind of cut in the middle there, if it just kind of like, forms and grows in that way. Either way, looks fantastic, looks very good. Maybe not as husky or as robust a mustache as like the Hulk stash that we just saw. Maybe a little more common of a mustache shape. You can find this one in maybe more places, but still a good classic look, especially if Nick over here is rocking a suit, or maybe you're working at, a freaking car garage, you're a bit of a grease monkey, that sort of thing. That's your profession. I think you'd look good with this stash as well. Also, you could rock this mustache in like an office job context and not look too bad. Maybe a lawyer, something like that. The Hulk stash, you don't want to be approaching the judge in court with like, a full blown like Hulk stash all on your face. You know what I mean? So, this one looks good. It's more versatile, maybe a little more average and run of the mill, but still a good, solid, respectable stash. I would put this one in the B column as well. Okay, next up we have the awful Dr. Phil over here. With his iconic mustache. I wouldn't call it iconic. I mean, you couldn't really imagine the guy without a mustache, but if you asked yourself to imagine what his mustache looks like, you couldn't really, bring much of a thought to the table, because there's not a lot about his mustache that, stands out that much. It's kind of like your average everyday dad stash. It's not even as thick as it could be in a lot of times when I catch it, especially in this picture here. It's okay. It's just a very, very like 6 out of 10 maybe kind of mustache. It's decent, it's passable, it's functional. It's so functional that it doesn't even really draw any attention to itself. It's just kind of like it's like an ambient mustache. It's background noise mustache. You've seen so many dad stashes like these. There's not really a whole lot that can be gleaned from it or said about it. I actually don't think my mustache here is that far off from this mustache. I mean, I do have a bit of a swoop coming down, so I do get that cool little Pizza Hut logo effect. Phil does not have that. He has like a nice full-lipped presentation here, which is fine, which is good, but it's just kind of your average everyday dad stash. No worse, no better. I would give this a C position on the tier list. It's there, it's happening, it's alive, it's well, it's copied every single day, but not a whole lot to celebrate about it per se. Next in our mustache tier list, we have what really like whatever the hell this is. I mean, this is kind of a style that has very much gone out with whatever time this picture was taken. It's a bold look. It's definitely a bold, long, husky, masculine type of facial hair design. I mean, it takes a bold individual to rock one of these in 2022, though I would be willing to guess that whoever does rock a stash situation like this, they most likely enjoy drinking IPAs. They probably like to wear messenger caps, that sort of thing. Maybe they listen to a little bit of stoner rock and sludge metal. This is again a bold look. I do commend it. I wouldn't say that if I saw somebody rocking this, would it give me a green flag? I'd be maybe a little wary of that guy. You could be dealing with somebody who's a surly individual, or you could be dealing with somebody who's just like, really big kind of beard and facial hair aficionado and is just like a, really passionate guy. So, I would say step lightly around these individuals, until you find out if they are friend or foe. And if they are friend, then this is a very cool, bold, creative look that I'm sure takes a lot of effort and a lot of time. And, totally commend dudes for keeping something like this alive. You know what I mean? Guys who do this are like dudes who are so dedicated to authenticity and artisanship and the craft, as it were, that when they send out a letter, they print it off a fucking printing press. They don't use an inkjet. They're like literally like laying the typeface in the metal slat there, and then they're like globbing ink on it, and then they're turning the wheel and they're pressing it down, and they get it up, and then they're taking a quill to write the address who they're sending it to on the front, and they're doing a bit of a wax seal on the letter. They throw the stamp on there, and that's how those dudes fucking communicate. All right, and those dudes are cool. I would put this in the B row. All right, next we have a similarly old-timey look. This one is classic. This one is strong. This one is bold. But I can't say aesthetically, especially in this day and age, I cannot say that I'm a fan. I can't say that I'm a fan. It's giving oil tycoon. It's giving robber baron. I'm just not vibing with it. I think this mustache, frankly, has become a parody of itself and needs to be taken down a peg. Yes, it's special. Yes, it's standout. If you saw a guy in the street with this, you'd be like, oh, look at that guy. Be wary. Earlier that day, they most likely tied a woman up to some train tracks and deviously ran away from the scene of the crime. Yeah, don't trust anyone with this. It's cool. It's neat. It's epic. It takes a lot of work and effort, but these people are not to be trusted. All right, next on the list, we have the one and only Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey. Now, Steve Harvey, a lot of what I have to say about his mustache is much of what I had already to say about Dr. Phil's mustache. It's kind of like a classic dad stash shape. But Steve Harvey's is a bit more, I'll say, manicured, and I feel like it's bolder, it's thicker. It's actually a much more, I think, stronger and respectable dad stash. I think it's like more a part of his look than it is Dr. Phil's. If Dr. Phil lost his mustache, I suppose it wouldn't be the biggest thing in the world. But Steve Harvey, man, I cannot imagine Steve Harvey without rocking that mustache. I just can't. It just makes him look like a big old cuddle bear. I would put Steve Harvey's mustache in the B row, just because I do have that much respect for it, even though I do think he is a bit of a goofy goober. All right, next we have Mr. Tom Selleck, one of the most legendary mustaches in all of media. This thing is like a classic throwback dad porno stash, but it's very well groomed. It is symmetrical. It is amazing. It is immaculate. It is like a well manicured lawn. It's very alpha. It's very macho. It's very good looking. It's very sweet on the eyes. And it's just a very good, respectable, dank ass mustache. Like everybody wishes they had one of these on their face, or on their body somewhere. I would put this solidly in the A row, just because it is, it's just, it's classic. You could say it's been repeated again and again and again, but by that same token, it's literally the mustache. It's literally the mustache. It's a kind of mustache that when you see it, it makes you want a mustache. You know what I mean? We have proof that some of the best things in life do age well. Tom Selleck's mustache still killing it to this day, still fiery to this day. Looking fantastic, looking great, looking amazing, looking thick, looking well groomed, looking symmetrical. It's just a glory to behold. You threw another one in here. All right. Next one over here is me. Yes, I've been thrown into the mix here. Yes, my mustache is looking particularly Pizza Hut logo-esque in in this picture. At this point, it's become such a joke. I wonder if they're going to, rent out advertising space on my face. I think my mustache is okay. I think it's fine. I think it fits my face. I think it's thick enough. I often feel like my facial hair around my face is not thick enough to kind of grow it out super long for an extended period of time. But the mustache is good enough. It's there. It's solid, and nothing too crazy, nothing too over the top. It's just a good solid mustache. If you got your own opinions on it, feel free to throw them in the comments if they differ from mine. I'm somewhat of a fan of my own mustache. I'm not a mega fan of it. I think it's good. I think it's proper. I think it's solid. I would put it in the C column, probably above Dr. Phil. Screw Dr. Phil. He can go back there. The robber baron can go over here. Dr. Phil can even go behind that guy. I'll give myself the Alpha C as far as mustaches go. All right, we are going to round things out with the great Frank Zappa's mustache and a bit of a goatee combo as well. But just looking at the mustache, I think Frank Zappa's mustache, frankly, is great, amazing, iconic, and fantastic, and kind of in the grander scheme of mustaches, kind of underrated as well. It's like hella thick, hella dark, hella bold, hella big. It's like a fucking Mack truck on your face. And on top of that, it's like shaggy to the point where it makes him look like, weirdo, artist, freak guy. But by that same token, it doesn't come off too long or too weird or too like unkempt or too out of shape. You know what I mean? It looks like it's shaped nicely. It's well taken care of, but it's big, 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 and yeah, it's. I think this mustache is huge and kicks ass. It's like a big, bold statement for your face. I would put this in the S row. Frankly, I think this is a fire ass mustache. This is definitely a mustache that sticks out in my mind. I believe there are even Zappa logos where it's like it's just like his goatee and mustache. It's like that's how good his mustache goatee combo is. Like it's the shape kind of just burns itself into your mind. We'll put the double mustache down here in the F because that really should be there. Nobody should be doing that. Really, nobody at all should be doing that at all. And I think this is a good, solid mustache tier list. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And you're the best. Love you. Anthony Fantano. Mustaches forever.